Hey everyone, welcome back to We Listen and We Judge.
It's
It's
been a
been a
while.
long time since we've seen you guys. Welcome to season two. We've just been living life. Recently, we went to Stowe, Vermont for mom's 50th birthday. How was that experience for you?
It was a bucket list experience. I had a blast. I actually can ski, guys. Believe it or not. Self-taught. Um, I just got on the mid slope because we thought it was the beginner slope, but there really was a bunny slope. We just didn't see it. And
I got on the bunny slope, but we snowboarded. Daniel, I, and my cousin Evan. So
yeah, we just didn't see the bunny slope. So um, we let them kind of navigate us toward the mid slope. And I was actually warned about the ski lift, but for some reason I just didn't realize it was that brutal. But it immediately scoops you up and makes you get on it if you're standing in any vicinity when it comes by. I'm like, okay, this contraption is dangerous. But anyway, so we get up to the top and I'm like, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So I took off down the slope at lightning speed. And everybody was like, "Do the pizza thing if you wanna stop." That was a absolute no, I was going way too fast. I tried to do the little pizza thing, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, I'm not slowing down, I'm not slowing down." I started panicking a little bit because it's like I felt like I was flying to the bottom of the hill, and so I said, "You know what? Imma do what they do on TV." So I did the little Olympic turn, and I took my poles and I stuck them down in the
I thought I was for
snow
snowboarding.
and I was able to stop. And so I was like, "Oh, wow. Okay, I'm good at this." Anyway, I am an inline skater. I can ice skate, I can inline skate, and I can regular skate. And I think it's a little bit transferable other than them big long boards. I mean, the shoe thing they put you in before they attach it to the board is kind of like inline skates. So maybe that's why I was able to do it. I don't know. Professional skiers may say no, but it worked for me. I had a great time. Stowe, Vermont was beautiful. Lake Champlain, we could see it when we were landing in Burlington and the Green Mountains. So quite an experience. I would love to go back to Vermont when it's a little bit warmer. The temperatures were like -14. And we tried to wait Saturday till it got to 0 to leave the the hotel. The cold was brutal. And I think if you remember from old episodes, I love the islands. So me going snowing was interesting. I mean, I'm sorry, me going skiing in the middle of all the cold and the snow was very, very interesting. So I had a great time. I think all my family and friends that went with me also had a great time.
Okay, so today we are talking about love. Uh, Valentine's Day is coming up, and we just wanted to highlight a little bit about our plans for Valentine's Day. Apparently, mom has none. It's weird because she's been married for 30 years. I guess we just.
I don't know why it's weird. I told you on our holiday episode that I don't celebrate.
Well, I would think y'all would do a little bit something because it's like your 30th Valentine's Day together. I don't know. I would guess I'm a little bit more sentimental when it comes to this type of things. Like we discussed, holidays are over commercialized, but personally, a day specifically for love, even when I'm single, I really like it. It's just a nice time to show love, give love, receive love, be happy. People are googly eyes and doing something for their special significant other. Or you can also do the Galentine's Day thing. The girls get together and hang out and pop a little prosecco or something cool. So I don't know. I'm a big lover. I just wanted to ask some questions. Do you remember the first time you said I love you?
Because we should have practiced this before. No.
I mean, do you remember like where you was at? Do you remember if daddy said it first, you said it first? Like
I wonder if he know the answer to this question.
Yeah, that would be good. This is why we wanted him to come on because sometimes I'll be wanting to ask like questions about who said I love you first, and who decided, oh, we gonna get married this time. I don't know. I just am curious. Also, we talked about how like sad and lonely I was on the inception of the show, and now your girl finally got a man. So it's interesting to know like what's going on in other people's love lives too, and are you experiencing some of these things. I'm actually usually really quiet when it comes to being in a relationship. It's something I like to like tech. But since we've been talking about marriage a lot, I do have more curiosity about how things go. And I've never been married before, so I have so many questions about this and that. And oh my gosh, like somebody's actually gonna live here forever, not gonna go away, go back to their house. We're gonna have one house together. I'm trying to wrap that around my head. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait for it. And then Loki, I'm like, oh Lord, this man gonna be here. I gotta share a closet. I literally have 2 closets full of clothes. Where could he be? We really have to have some money along the line because I need a bigger closet for myself. So it's just
Is that what you're thinking about?
yeah, a lot. Like I was trying to come up with drawer space when he came to visit. I was like, "Look, you're just gonna have to use the second bedroom. There's not enough space for 2 people." Like, I'm sorry. It's just I got to get it together. I have been so like I said, I love love, but I've been so low that I'm not used to cohabiting or having another person. So this is all the things that's going through my head lately.
I don't want to push my marriage views on anyone, but to me, a marriage is like um a partnership, a
Mhm,
friendship. Um, so I would always
mm,
use the phrase "homie, love, a friend." Like, we'll have to decide all those things as they come.
mhm,
But right now, just thinking about what does your friendship look like?
mhm,
What does your partnership look like?
mhm,
Deciding things like bills, who's gonna pay this,
mm,
that, and the third, is it 50-50? And that's up to you guys to decide how that looks. Is you pay all the bills and then or do you split it 50-50? So those types of things you decide. Um, faith. Are you equally yoked in your faith? Uh, will you go to church together? Um, does denomination even matter?
mhm.
Or is it okay for you to be a Southern Baptist and him be, was it Catholic?
Yeah,
A
Catholic.
Catholic. So those types of things are very important because you don't want um, a marriage to begin with constant bickering and back and forth decisions that you could have hammered out as you develop your friendship. So
Mhm.
getting to know each other really, really well before saying I do is important. Because it's one thing um, to be friends with someone, but it's another thing to actually live with them.
Right,
So, for example, when two females who've been friends forever go off to college, they often, if they room together, end up falling out
right.
because they've had a friendship that didn't include them living with one another. And
Our
so
conflict a lot of
right,
times,
and so
yeah.
once you move in with that person, there's a side of them that you're not used to and that you
Mhm,
haven't seen before. It's the same thing in a marriage. It's a side of that person you're not used to, and then little things start to annoy you.
mhm.
And so I think it's not a bad idea ahead of time. And I heard this on Michelle Obama and I think her brother's name is Michael Robinson.
Yeah,
Their podcast, I heard them talking about like having those questions that you want to ask your significant other before you start to either date or before you start to
yeah.
enter into a serious relationship or before you get married, having your questions ready and being honest and open with each other about things that get on your nerves.
Yeah. Well, I think he got hammered over the head with the questions. If you know me, you know I'm very inquisitive, very much law and order. I'm gonna ask all the questions on top of questions and questions people probably never thought of. So we've talked a lot about those things. We actually are going to church tomorrow with grandma and grandpa. And he's okay going to a Baptist church. And I told him like I'm not too picky on the type of denomination if he still wants to be Catholic. Like that's not, something that's
Yeah, and
outrageous to me. But.
grandma goes to an independent Methodist church.
Hmm.
We're all Southern
Oh
Baptist.
yeah, I
So
keep forgetting.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I've been to Baptist, Methodist church. I think like no, never been to a Catholic church, but I'm not. opposed to going, so we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely very open to the different denominations, as long as they serve the Lord, the one true God, Jesus, all that, I'm cool with it. But yeah, I mean, it's a phase of life where you're all in the lover stage and everything is so beautiful, so wonderful. This person is perfect, but it's not like we haven't addressed any conflict or gotten to different opinions and gotten through those situations. So, I mean, I'm just happy to actually have a Valentine this year as somebody. Again, I like Valentine's Day regardless of if I have somebody or not, but this one is gonna be super special because I actually got Valentine's Day plans. I done got my gift for him, and I'm excited to see what his gift is for me, even though I already told him what I wanted. Because that's another thing. I think a lot of people get in these situations because they're not very clear and they're not very, honest about what they want. I think it's very weird to expect somebody to know exactly what you want, especially when sometimes you really don't know what you want until you think and talk it out. So to expect another human being to just read your mind and know you and look up patterns and try to pick up on things, eventually if you've been with somebody for 30 years, like how you guys, you're gonna know what they like. But you're getting in a new relationship, I would say between the 1 through 3 years, you should be as truthful and very direct about what you're looking for and what you want, and very honest. And don't just settle because of how you start is usually how you finish. So please, if you do not take any advice from me today, even outside of relationships, even in your career, your friendships, your, sibling ships, is there a word? Word in relationships.
It's not a word, but I know
Siblings,
what you mean.
yeah, you should be very upfront and very vocal about what you want, what you expect, what you need. So that's what I have to say about that too. So I'm excited to see what I'm gonna get after I said what I wanted.
You should get what you asked for.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's true. So hopefully it's
what I will say about love is no matter what the relationship, if it's a friendship love or a marriage love, at the center of it should always be the truth. Kind
Mhm,
of similar to what you was just saying. Just be honest
mhm,
about what you want and what you desire in the relationship. Truth goes a long way. I know the Bible says love covers a multitude of sins. So
mhm,
does truth.
mhm,
Tell the truth. Be honest. And sometimes honesty is uncomfortable.
mhm,
Sometimes it hurts people's feelings, but to me, being direct and honest is better than the fallout in the long run. So
mhm.
I will leave that advice too with the
That's
audience.
That's good. I think I've learned a lot from this relationship, even though it's kind of newer. I'm trying a different way to love. I keep reading that Bible verse, love is patient, love is kind, because I'm also a very impatient person. I'm more so I want it when I want it, when I said I wanted it. And that's not necessarily fair as I grow up and mature. I think for most of my life, I've been of a more mature person, but when it comes to my flaws, it usually is leaning towards the immaturity of thinking that everything has to be the way I see it and not really looking at somebody else's wants and needs and opinions and point of view. So I'm getting over that hump and I'm realizing, okay, let me give it space to breathe. Let somebody show up for me instead of just automatically thinking the worst. Let me resolve my issues in a mature manner. I'm just a more block heavy person, but I decided, no, that's not what I'm gonna do this time. Unless somebody really deserves it. There's situations where somebody absolutely does deserve to be cut off and you should never love back. And we can talk about that another time. But I want to talk about the times where you have to really give patience and compromise. And that's what I'm learning. And it's not a lot. Like it's not like I'm compromising like my morals, my, you know, viewpoints. It's just I have a person that's trying to do a lot in life right now, heavily in school, whereas I'm like more so in my career trying to figure out what I want to do. So we're on two different paths, and I'm really just trying to, give him space to grow his career, give myself my space to grow my career. But if I'm saying this is going to be a long term relationship, I also have to compromise and really think of the other person. It's always been me, but now it's time for me to be a we. And that is just a mindset I have not evolved into having as a chronically single, oldest child, independent, think I know everything
Yes.
mentality. So I can say this is causing me to grow up, and see the other side of somebody else's life. So,
And it's okay to proceed with caution.
mhm,
Take your time. It's no rush. Just, take your time. You don't have to jump head first either.
right.
So that is my advice with relationships as well. Be cautious. Like we met in and I, I messed this up bad the first time I was trying to talk about this, but we met in 1993. And it was my senior year of high school and my husband was in college already. It was his first year of college, my senior year of high school. And we ended up getting married in 1996. Yeah. And even then, until we started living, well, we got married first before we moved in together. So our first time living together was when we got married. So we had to adjust. He say I snore too, but not like him. I don't care what he say. I had to get used
Boy,
to that house
if
rattling.
you ever see somebody wake themselves up out of their own sleep, that's how bad he snores.
Yeah, I had to get used to that. And I had earplugs for a little while there. But yeah, I had to get used to that. And then closet space was a thing. Figuring out whose stuff is going where.
Mhm.
And we lived in a much smaller house for 4 years when we first got married, before we bought our first house. And so we just had to learn how to exist in that space together. And with Brandy, so the three of us just having to exist in that space. I can say I probably grew up a lot faster and a lot of things were not about me because I had a little one. And so a lot of my decisions revolved around what was best for us to do based on what you needed. And so even my career, I changed career paths because I was moving pretty fast and moving up pretty quickly
Mhm.
in business when I was a merchandise manager for JCPenney. And a promotion came through right when Brandy had started pre-K and Daniel was born. And so it was a tough decision to turn down such a big promotion because we were in the middle of child rearing two little small ones, one just starting school and the other one just born. And so had to make a tough decision to switch gears. I don't regret it. I do feel like the path that I was on, I was really excited about because I was moving toward marketing at the corporate level.
Right, right.
But I mean, life has a way of humbling you and, and making you accept that the path might be a little bit different from what you envision.
Right.
But the main thing is having a family support system and a network and people around you who love you unconditionally and will help you through situations. And so I feel like staying in this area and raising our kids was the most beneficial for them because I had a family network who helped me switch careers. While I was switching careers, they would pick them up from daycare or um, for a while, Brandy stayed with my grandma even during the day while even when we were in college, we'd take her in the morning out way out to the country to my grandma's house and
Bye-bye.
and she would be out there,
See
and
ya.
then when we got out of class, we'd go get her every day, and, so just having that kind of family support, and then my parents, being close by would help us out when we needed to study or, if we had somewhere we needed to go, they were close enough that Brandy could just go down there, and then my sisters, they were still in high school, and so they were very helpful. So it was kinda good to have that family support.
Mhm.
So by the time um, I had that opportunity to take that big promotion and move. It just made sense not to because I wouldn't have known anybody and the daycare situation might not have been as trustworthy as the family network and support that I had close by. And so I don't regret it. Like I said, I feel like that's a type of love. That's that agape love,
Yeah,
unconditional, where you put aside your own hopes and dreams and you say, hey, this is what's best for my kids and my husband. And you make that decision. And so,
yeah, it's a village love too as well
yeah,
because everybody came together to, help and be there, for you guys and what you needed. And honestly, I think, well, I was the first grandchild on that side too, so everybody was probably really excited to have a baby in the family.
yeah,
And then Sierra came 2 years later, so another baby to, hang out with and help. So, I mean, I don't know, like, if I would be able to do it, but I do think, like, I'm glad you did because I like growing up in Georgia and I kinda, had all my cousins and all my family. And I think about it sometimes. I'm like, well, what would it be like to grow up in Texas? But then also, it's just like life has been beautiful and we still have a lot of love for each other. And, you took another career path and that paid off too, but you can go back and see if it's time to, do that again because it's almost the end of another career. So,
maybe.
yeah.
I don't know.
Might be your time to shine again and try that path. So, enough about love. We do hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day and enjoy it. But now we got to go into the listening to segment and see what we've been tuning in. So, I'll let you go first.
Oh my gosh. So I have been listening to on repeat the nostalgic tune. It feels really nostalgic. T.I. let 'em know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think all the Generation Xers are like we just,
Yeah.
riding down the street popping a little bit. But yeah, T.I. did his thing with that one. I think Pharrell
Hmm.
produced it. If you have not heard it yet or haven't been listening to it, I do suggest all Gen X,
Yeah.
um, press play, let them know. Yeah.
I went back and listen to it as well, and it is really good. It's good for a workout playlist, and then I see it on everybody's like Instagram stories, Instagram videos, and I seen it on TikTok too. I was like, okay, so he can still put out a little hit. It's always interesting when I guess rappers retire, like they quietly retire, and then they come back with some heat later on, and you're like, okay, so they still got it.
Yeah.
It's probably like a forever thing, but I have been on my Lover Girl stuff. I guess I'm just fully engulfed in it, and I told you guys about it earlier. Her album Vacancy. So it finally came out. It was finally released in January, and it is so good. I knew it was gonna be great, but even hearing all the different songs, like I like the singles, but the 3 songs that I love, because I had to have 3, I couldn't just do 1 or 2, but all of them I love, but these are my top 3. So Mobbin in DC is really good. It kinda reminds me of Chicago Boy. She has, like, those themes of songs. And then also Pretzel is really great. That's a good song. And finally, Horoscope. That one is it might be my favorite, but it's really I don't know. I love all 3, but I just really like Horoscope. It's really cool how she got a thing for all of the signs, and if the Zodiac girls hear it, I'm sure they'll love it, but I think Ari Lennox did a great job. I want to see her in concert, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna make it this tour because her dates are just too close, and I got some things going on in the next few months, so I'm not gonna be able to make it. But if it was like later this summer, I'd definitely find the time to go because I really love this album. I love music, so shout out to Ari Lennox. And then finally, don't forget we do have Judging You. If you need some advice, just hit us up. You can email us at we listen and we judge podcast1 at gmail.com. We hope you guys enjoyed this season 2. We look forward to hearing from you. Any questions, any comments, any feedback. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.